How has COVID-19 affected you or your family or your community?
Pain in the butt.
What was that?
Pain in the butt.
Pain in the butt. Okay. You want to elaborate on that?
Man, they just going off the hook with this COVID. Now, my opinion, since Donald Trump was in office, now all of a sudden we got all this COVID going on.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had virus since 1933, I think it was, that I read in the book. We've always had viruses. So something's going to be the death of us, whether we take the COVID shot or not. Me personally, I had to take it because of medical reasons that I disagree with. But I had no choice. If I planned to get this surgery on these knees, I had to take it. Me, I wouldn't have took it. Because when God is ready, ain't nothing you can do to stop it. I don't care how many COVIDs, and you ain't going to stop it.
So the shot was forced upon you.
Yes.
The shot was forced upon
Yes.
you. Anybody else?
disagree with that.
Yeah. Anybody else to care about? How has COVID-19 affected you? Hi. Yes.
I feel like that COVID-19, it affected a lot of people in a weird way, because even the people that wanted to go back to work, like Eric was just saying, that the shot was forced upon him because he had to get the knee surgery. The shot was forced upon a lot of people too that wanted to go back to work. And then it's like you forced to take a shot, and then a week later you coming in a casino and they're telling you, oh, masks were lifted. Well, what was the point of making me take a shot if you're inviting people in? You don't know where they came from. Just because they're paying here for dining, whining, whatever, we have to be around them while they don't have a mask. And now we're allowed to not wear a mask too, but now I don't even feel safe because now you just put me in a box. I just took a shot to save myself from COVID, but COVID could be spread in just a little sneeze. So now we got to be around all that, but we forced to take a shot just to make money to survive. That's not fair. So COVID could have stayed where it was.
Yes, Eric.
Now, I've noticed, before this last, say, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, how many masks did you see out here before this?
Only at the doctor's office or
At the
hospital?
doctor's office.
Anything medical?
So,
During surgery or something.
It's just confusing that, all of a sudden, COVID comes out, COVID, whatever it is, comes out and it says, look, you got to be masked up, it's mandatory, this, that, and other. Wasn't that many masks out before this COVID started?
Right.
So I'm just baffled with it. You know what I'm saying? Me, I have COPD. So to put all that over my face, I can't breathe.
Right.
If you expect me to walk 24 hours not breathing, it ain't gonna happen. Got to breathe.
Right.
But everybody, oh, COVID. Didn't think about COVID until 2 years, 3 years ago.
Right.
So that's just my opinion.
Pam?
Hi. So my opinion for COVID-19, I really didn't want to get the vaccination. I was completely against the vaccination, completely. But at the time, during that time, my mom was still alive and she was elderly. And so I got it so that she had Alzheimer's. So I got it because I didn't want to get it, and I didn't want her to get it. And I didn't want to have anything that would stop me from being around her. Just nothing. I didn't want anything because of the relationship. I was like, this could stop me, or if I get her the COVID shot, she may not be able to tell us what's going on. So as a family, we didn't get her the COVID shot. We took care of her. We all got the COVID shot, but we took care of her. And so actually, when she passed away, I got COVID the next year, which was, I was like, oh my God, but I was so happy I got it the next year after she had passed away. But still, I had the vaccine. So we got the vaccine here at the job. They offered us the vaccine. I got the Johnson & Johnson, the one time only, because it was the different one. So I was contemplating getting it. I got it. I lived through it, but it was a definite experience. It affected my whole body, mentally, physically. I was shook. They came here. the big COVID people came with the doctors. It was like magnificent. They had a whole thing here, and a lot of this whole area, the police officers, a lot of us in the county, we got vaccinated because to make it safe, because that's what else could we do? I believe COVID is airborne, and because it's airborne, it's invisible. You can't see it. So if you can't see it, you have to protect yourself in some kind of way. And regardless, it's just making you know that the food choices, everything that you're doing, I think it's stuff that's in the atmosphere. What is it? It's airborne. It came from somewhere, and if it's invisible, that means
It's man-made.
it's right. So
COVID.
Wherever it is,
COVID is in pork.
so wherever it is. Okay, wait a minute. But that's how I feel about how it has affected us. Affected us tremendous. We've lost a lot of lives. I didn't lose family members per se to COVID, but I lost family members during COVID, and so it's just been a lot for everything with the homelessness population. Because me working with the homeless population of why people became homeless. Because of COVID, because of getting displaced, because of family members, because of not knowing what to do, just stuck. And then there's no place to go. Like, oh my God. Like, they put us in a state of fear. Fear. Just fearful. China and all those other places, they've had things, like other places and they've had epidemics and stuff like that. We've had the swine flu. We've had all of that kind of stuff in the 30s and 40s and stuff. My grandma, we all know about that kind of stuff. They weren't masked then. They did stuff then, but it's different. So I don't know, so how it's affected us as a community, it took a hit. It took a real hit on older people. How do you think older people feel? Like, what is this? Like, this is something like the end of the world. Like, what is this? Like, it's a lot. And then for young people going to school or anything, it's just taken over a lot. So how it has affected us, it has affected us in our job, in our life, in everything that we do, from religion from the beginning to the end, your whole day. It has just affected our whole lives. And so I'm glad that it's ending, but it's not ending. It's different. We're still in masks. We're still more stuff is coming up. So when are you safe? I got the COVID vaccine, and then when I got COVID, I went to ask the nurses who get the COVID shots often, and they said, Pam, don't get the what do you call it? Boosters. They said don't worry about that, because now this is what they told me. They said because if you get it, you're going to get sick less than because you have the initial shot, and it's going to be flu-like, and it's going to be, you'll be sick, but you won't be as sick as had you not gotten the vaccine. But that's not helping me. Because when I had COVID, I was sick as I don't know what. So I don't know.
They can't determine.
They cannot, right, that's the word. You can't determine that.
It's like the flu shot.
You don't, well, I didn't get that.
I get that flu shot, bam, I'm sick. I don't get colds and
That's
all that
because
often.
they put the extra virus in the shot. So it's like you're giving me it so my body can fight it off. But so many people got the shot and still catch COVID. Some
And
people
so what did that
survived it,
mean?
some people died. So
Right.
it's just
Where did you work at?
Meadowview Nursing Home.
So the nursing home.
yeah, they
And
were.
what did they do with the seniors there who get COVID?
And they're also with the residents there. Some of them denied, the ones that's in their right mind.
Yeah.
Some of them denied the shot, and some of the family members didn't want a family member to get the shot.
That's
Me, myself, I didn't take the shot.
Okay.
That's going to be our next question. Those of you who did or who did not. But would
Okay.
anybody else like to share, how COVID had affected? I think you said that very well, Pam. How it affected your family or your community.
Well, with me, I had caught COVID in March. When it was out there crazy, and due to me working in a nursing home, because I took care of my mom, but I was working in a nursing home, so I had to take her to another sibling house so they can care for her, because the COVID and everything. I didn't want to catch something at the nursing home and bring it home to my mom.
Right.
So when I got it, I had to quarantine. I think that's when it was like 14 days.
Yeah, they remember when they was giving us 14 days.
Yeah,
was you
right.
here at JFS when they was giving us time?
Yeah.
It was like 14 days. you have your management at the nursing home calling you, rushing you back because they short of staff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's calling me, harassing me to come back. And she, I'm like, wait a minute, I have to get tested before I come back.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, you come back.
This is at the nursing home.
Yes, Meadowview
Wow.
Nursing Home.
Wow.
She said, you come back. So I called the lady at the health department. And she said, all right, let me call Meadowview, because she said they should know better.
Mm-hmm.
But they could care less because they short of staff.
Mm.
Now, where they're short of staff, we got 3 floors, 2, 4, 6. It's like 2 halls on
You
each
still
floor.
work? You don't still work there?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 1 CNA on a whole floor taking care of like 60 some odd people, where management can work down. If you're a DON or something like that, you can still come down and work as a CNA. But they don't come down and work as a CNA. They leave it up to the CNA. And you get mandatory to stay overtime because other people are out sick. They can't make it in.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm coming to work for my 8-hour shift,
Mm-hmm.
You can get stuck.
I'm only bringing in lunch for my 8-hour shift.
Mm-hmm.
So now you there doing another double. You ain't got nothing to drink or eat.
Deprived
They don't
of the
offer
job.
you nothing. They don't give you nothing. The only way we survive to the help of the resident's family member.
Mm-hmm.
Their family member sent in foods from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The family members really took care
Of their family.
of
That's
the
very good to
CNAs.
hear. Yeah,
They-
that's
they
very,
took
very
care
good
of
to
Isn't
hear.
that great?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's very
and,
good
and
to
when
hear.
I went out, I come back, every last one of my residents are dead.
Or what? Pardon me? Every one of
they
them.
died
Mm.
due to COVID.
Oh,
And, well, some of them did, some didn't.
but
And during that time, my mom passed.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part about that, I can't be by her side
mm-hmm.
because I still, with COVID,
Yeah.
I have to get, my doctor, I called her. She said you have to have 2 negative tests
Too negative to go
before
back.
you go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
But you have your DONs and them calling you, rushing you back to work. It's girls that just work. They been out like 7 days. They go back to work. You don't know if you're clear of COVID or not. They didn't care. Just come back.
Yeah, so it hurt them.
So you still passing it, and with the job, they didn't have a designated area for people with COVID to go.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot.
And then they did one hallway, but you still in the mix with everything else.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't work there anymore because it's the mental now.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the job not to bring someone in to talk to the CNAs or the workers,
Yeah, that's
or what's
important.
bothering you,
Yeah.
you know, and it really got bad in there because you get attached to
The resident.
The
those
people.
residents. Those are your
True.
family.
Truly, because that's who you spend your
taking
time
care
with.
and you
You
Exactly.
spend 8
Exactly.
hours with.
Exactly. And for you, and then they'll move you from floor to floor, and now the residents that you have,
Or discombobulated. Where's my
they,
people at?
and
Yeah.
I worked on the dementia unit.
Mm-hmm.
So
they
if you're
know
sending
you.
me somewhere else and you bringing new people down,
That makes
and
it
they
more
don't do the
confusing.
things that I do,
It's more confusing.
now it's not consistent of care,
yeah.
Right.
continuity of care.
Mm-hmm.
And management, they were just terrible.
Mhm.
They never come on the floor. They'll be at the in the lobby, at the security desk, talking on a speaker.
That's too
They
bad.
didn't come down, intermingle, help. Did we need help? I had some of my coworkers got legs amputated. They on a breathing machine.
Just a lot of tragedy. Tragic
Exactly.
stuff.
And for management to call them, and I only know they call them because I'm in
you.
a union and I was the president, and the guy, vice president,
Right?
and the guy he'll call.
She got all the information.
And the guy he'll call, he'll say, they calling me to come back to work and I can't, and he can barely breathe.
Just trying to make it.
And if you don't come back this time, you're terminated.
So see,
So
that's
it's
the
bad
challenges.
enough he has COVID, and then you're threatening me with my job. So he's like, well, what do? I said, as long as you get a doctor's note, you should be clear. But Meadowview was terrible.
How many questions we have?
We have a couple of questions. It's okay. Anybody else care to share how that it affected you
I feel like it affected everyone mentally.
mentally?
Like mentally, it destroyed a lot of people. Like people were saying, like not only family members was dying, but you're working in the medical field, your residents that you're caring for is dying.
It's
and
just
it's like,
dying.
It's a toll. It takes a toll on everyone. And I feel like a lot of people are in denial and they don't want to go get help.
Right.
As far as like mentally. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like they're either taking their own lives or they're doing something dumb to get them locked up or whatever the case may be. I just feel like mentally it destroyed a lot of people. Like a lot of people is not the same. A lot of people like.
So so let me just say too, so that's a good point that you're making, and that's one of the things that JFS, that's what we do. We have the mental health.
Right.
That part, we have that connection, and so that's the great part, because this program is the PATH program, but it's also connected to mental health, and JFS has mental health for these things, and so everybody can be linked to whatever they need. So that is the great part of also this study and what JFS does, because we offer those things to people, and we know this is a mental health agency, and working for a mental health agency for me is good because I can get mental health, and so that's good. So I'm promoting that, I'm living it and doing it with you, showing you that yes, these things are good because we all need it. And so as a community, that's good that we have these things for you because it is needed. So that's good.
Yes, Eric.
Now, I'm listening to y'all, and it said that the elder people are the most likely to demise from this COVID.
Right.
My mother and father are both 98 years old. My dad just passed last January. My mother's still going strong. She ain't quite got all her scruples because she has dementia. Alzheimer's, and it's in a real rough stage.
Right.
But she survived. She survived. So I'm like, come on.
Well, at the nursing home, we have people there that's older. We have one, she's still living. She's like 90-something. She didn't even get the shot.
No, my mother didn't get it either.
She didn't get the
My
shot.
mother and father didn't
And
get
it's
it either.
elderly people that's surviving.
I think my uncle's like 95 or 90 something, and he didn't get the COVID shot. He died. He didn't get the COVID shot. He had COVID. He went in the hospital, came out the hospital, lived, and then died. And so, but I'm saying he was in his 90s, and so he was old school. He was like, I ain't getting nothing, and y'all can't make me get nothing. And then they called me. It was like, he said he don't. I said, you know what? He's 90 something. If the man said no, don't give him what he didn't say, because I don't know what that is. So if you're 90, let's don't rush it. God is good.
Right.
So it's no age on it. Whoever get it. If they survive
It does not discriminate.
It
is
don't
what we're
discriminate.
saying.
No.
It does
No.
not discriminate.
No, ma'am.
So, like, with a raise of hand, how many of you received the COVID-19 vaccine shot? Okay, 3. Okay, and the boosters. Did anybody get a booster? Nobody got any of the boosters. All right, so what were your reasons for getting the shot? As you said,
I got my shot. Well, my personal reason was because of my mother. Because I had determined that I definitely wasn't getting it. So I didn't want to, so that's why I had got it, because I had an elderly mother who had Alzheimer's at the time, and I didn't want to make her sick and her not being able to communicate with me. So I got it. And then also this job that I work in the job field of working with the homeless, and so I could be anywhere at any time. And so I also needed to be protective because I could be under the book. I could just be anywhere. And so with that, I want to protect myself as well as the next person. So I had to really kind of think with this job, what do I want to do? And since it's an out job, I'm out. So I want to be protected as possible. So that's why I got it.
And I know, Eric, you got it because of
The surgery.
Okay, because of the surgery.
His health.
Yeah. And health. And Aaliyah, did you have any reasons for getting it?
Oh, when COVID had first started and it got bad, I was doing security at resorts. And with resorts being a private company and not a part of like unions and things like that, really, they get to make their own rules or you get out.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they put us all in the meeting. And no, for real, that's how it went. We got a notice a week before we had the meeting, so nobody would call out for the day of the meeting. This how they really did it. Then they put us all in the room in the security office, and then a lady came in with an Atlantic Care shirt on, and she's like, she introduced herself, and she's like, I have the Pfizer vaccines, I have Johnson & Johnson, and then the Moderna. And I just looked at her like, why are you telling us what you had? Like, you know, because it was me and another older black lady. We spoke our minds. You know, we never hold no cup of water.
All right, let's count.
So we started like asking the lady, like, what's really going on here? What you setting us up for, basically? Because our manager wasn't trying to tell us. And then he's like, well, I brought you all here to get vaccinated because if you don't, then you're going to have to, you know, get terminated, basically. So I just turned and I just looked at him like, you know how many people like don't want to get that vaccine and how many people about to really have to walk out that door and not have a job?
So you were forced.
Basically, yes.
You're
and then
How old was you at the time?
22. Three dudes.
That's early, right? That's a
No, I'm lying. I was 23. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. That's
3
young.
men. They got terminated because they didn't want to get the shot.
That's interesting.
And it was just like, dang, that could have been me, but I gotta make my money. So I said, sign me up for the Pfizer.
Oh, you got the Pfizer?
Yeah, I got the Pfizer vaccine. And they took us up to a ballroom on the second floor, like across from the theater where the hallway to get to Hard Rock is. So we did it up in that ballroom, and they already had everything set up. Like, seriously, they had the tables that we going to sit down on and all that. Like, everything
We did
was set
that
up
in the
already.
conference room. Yeah, I mean, they had us, not in this room, but they had the special.
I was just, like, really so shocked. And then a lot of people started to get sick.
Well, you
from
will.
the shots that like they were getting side effects. I'll say they were getting side effects. Not
Immediately.
like as if they just caught COVID.
Immediately.
Yeah, they got side effects immediately, especially from the Johnson & Johnson.
Great.
And then old guy named Sonny, he was 80 years old. He's still working there, and when he got his shot, and he ended up passing away. But before he passed away, he came back to work a week before he passed away, and his skin was like peeling really bad. So they sent him home. And then that was when we found out he passed away. And it was just like, damn. So the Johnson & Johnson in my head, that was like automatically a vaccine I didn't want anybody around me to ever have to get.
Great. It's I felt a lot better getting it.
Wait,
After
You're still alive, though. You're above the ground.
No, but wait, after the vaccine, then I started hearing all the stuff about Johnson, and people was going, "Which one did you get, Pam?" I said, "The Johnson & Johnson."
Well, it depends on you and your.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I think like it depends on like how you are.
Yeah.
Now, for people who did not get, did not get the vaccine, what was the reason that they did not get the vaccine?
Well, I
Anybody
didn't
know?
get it because even if you get the shot, you still get COVID.
Right.
What was the purpose of getting the shot if you still going to get COVID?
That's how
My mother-in-law, she got the Moderna shot. She was sick. She had to go in the hospital. You know, I think she said that all of a sudden she got gout and she got
Just
all
things
kinds of
started
stuff.
happening.
Exactly.
It's like a trigger.
And her doctor told her, "Why did you get it without notifying them?"
To
And
tell
she
them
thought
what?
like you, well, my grandson, he's go out to school and he might bring something home to me.
Right.
You see, everybody have the impression when they get the shot, they're not going to get sick.
They put it. You get sick immediately. I was sick for a week.
And when I'm at the job and they getting the shot, they get sick. Girl get hives all in her face. They get really sick.
Yeah.
So in other words, you giving me a shot. It's not that I didn't want to take it. I didn't see enough research on it
That too, yeah.
for you to just come and shoot me up with something
Great. I feel a lot.
and I don't know what it is. And it's just like back in the history when they going around.
Lord,
No offense to anybody.
No, I'm good.
You know, where they
We
get
good.
the black people and you
We
just
good.
shoot us up with
We
stuff
good. We
and,
good.
and see what makes us tick.
So she's
I don't
talking-
know if it was a
you
survey
talking about
to
the
see what's going on
Tuskegee
with us
study.
or what. I
So
don't
with
know.
the Tuskegee study and all of that for black people, that's why that's another thing. Because as African Americans, we do have reservations about what somebody is giving us. You know, like should we all run and do that?
This is
No.
from the government.
So you know, so it just put us in it put barriers for religion.
Right.
A lot of
And then they
barriers for
come with-
religion.
If you black, you should get it because we the one that got all the sickness, high blood pressure,
So
diabetes.
it's just cultural.
You know,
Cultural.
everything comes towards us. Like if you don't get it, you gonna die because you black.
And like
Or
your culture,
it hurts
you know,
the black and the old.
It was different for you, like right for how people would.
Well, you know, for me, I grew up here in the States, but yes, you know, yes, in many respects, absolutely.
And to me, it just looked like they were just using everybody as a spearmint, right?
That's exactly what
We
I was
guinea
about to say.
pigs.
Like exactly, like that's why I didn't get the shot. Because once I started seeing how it affect different people, it was just like I just felt like we were all like a test dummy. Like y'all, like polio, all the different viruses that come around every so often. You get this one major virus every so many years, and hundreds of people dying
And
from
everything
that.
is
I just feel like it's a.
So
it's
you
a
guys are so
test.
much younger, so you don't know about the plague, the plagues and
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
you know.
I've heard.
Yeah, I know
learned
you
about it
did,
in
but I'm
school,
just
but it's
saying,
just
yeah.
Like, every certain amount of years is this big
Something else.
virus or something that comes around that kills a lot of people off. And I'm like, what am I getting the vaccine for if it's people dying from it, people getting sick still after they got it? Like, it's pointless. That's how I looked at
So,
it.
like, you know, where would you go for information about COVID-19? Any
well
ideas?
with me when I was at Medaville.
Like, what sources do you trust?
Now,
What sources do you
I don't
trust?
trust nobody.
Okay, I get
My
that.
own body.
They gonna tell us-
I don't trust.
All right.
They gonna tell us what they want us to know. They're not
What
gonna tell
sources
us
do you
everything.
trust? I
My
trust.
own body.
I would say my own body as well. Based
Right.
on,
My own body.
Yeah, I never quit.
Well, my own
Trust
body, but
yourself.
I'm not going to put it in there just to see what's
but,
going to
but you
happen.
know what?
Exactly, like-
One thing this has done.
I don't trust nobody to come tell me, oh, here, take this gonna, not that, no.
Right.
And I'm not going to take it myself and just see what's going to happen.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. At least with
That's like
Medaville,
paying Russian
they
roulette.
let you get the shot or you can use an exemption form that you fill out.
Some people,
You
yeah.
know,
And you just
they
get tested
they
every
did
week.
that, but then later on, you got some of them still walking around trying to bully you into getting the shot. I don't know if you get many people to get the shot, you get
Get
some
it.
kind of money or something.
No, for real, because that's really how they was coming.
So-
I don't know.
That had to be how they was coming, because the way my manager did that, he was crafty. That was a crafty dude.
So,
It's
like,
it's amazing how all those shots and whatnot, McDermott and all that, Johnson and Johnson, they was giving it out like wildfire,
Candy.
like candy.
And they
But
offering you,
somebody's making some money off of this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and it was
They
so,
gave it to the people for free, but you're making money.
but no.
Somebody's making money.
Then they did it
It was
like I
Marty
give you
Small.
$100, you get the shot. Who does that?
Jobs started doing that.
So you got AIDS and all that. Ain't nobody come give out no free
You
shots
got that right?
Right.
or herpes or
Right. Ain't
whatever
nobody
else
right.
going on out
Right.
there. Ain't nobody coming giving free shots.
I just
Right.
said in my head like 5 minutes ago, right, that you just said that. I
You
just
read
said
my
they ain't
mind,
come
right?
out with an HIV vaccine or none of that
Yeah,
yet.
they
Come on,
They
I'm
didn't-
just saying.
But they've come a long way.
They've come a long way.
they've come a long way.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
you gotta have them. What's his
gotta
name?
have-
Michael Johnson.
Magic
Magic
Johnson.
Johnson.
Magic
All right,
Johnson.
let's
Oh,
talk about that.
Yeah, like
All right, so go ahead to the next question. Jesus Christ. Go ahead to the next question, because
All right, there's only like maybe one or two questions
Okay.
left. Have you had the opportunity to talk to your doctor about the COVID-19 vaccine? And if so, what did this conversation sound like? Who said what?
I didn't even ask because I felt like you want to tell me what
Pam.
I want to hear.
So,
Okay, sorry.
so going to the doctor, they promote. The doctors have every reason to promote it. They're not giving you anything to say no. When you go to the doctor, they're saying it's a yes because it's a yes. I'm just saying. So the doctors are saying yes. But one thing this COVID thing has done is definitely made us go to the doctor. If you didn't go to the doctor, you have more doctors than you've ever had. So at least people are going to the doctor. They know more about their health because you had to go to the doctor even if you were forced to. And so the doctors are promoting they're promoting all this. You know, when I take clients to the doctor, everything is promoted. So they're promoting to do this because they're doing it for health and safety. There's unless you're a holistic doctor, doctors are promoting this for health and safety. So they're recommending the shot. They're recommending the stuff that you see.
Anybody else care to share that on that question?
That's pretty much what they're doing. They recommend it, but at least with my doctor, she talks to me and, you know, she'll say it's your decision.
She understands.
Well, she know I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway.
But with Eric, because he's getting ready, so he has to get surgery. So because he has to get surgery, certain things had to be done, even if he said he didn't want to. So now
So
he's
you got the surgery already?
No, he didn't. So that's getting ready to come up. So
Now I had surgery on my
but
knee.
I
I didn't
know.
have to get the shot.
I know, but what I'm saying to
But this is something new.
so it's something
When the
new.
person came to me and said it, first of all, how you gonna tell me to take something? You're not my mom or daddy.
Okay.
Ask me,
Right.
and I'll give you the answer. I'll give you the answer to say yes or no. You know, this is what I say to him.
And the thing is, if he say no,
It's still
then he
problem.
has to deal with the consequences, whatever happened to him.
Right.
Right.
So it still should be his decision.
But it is his decision. But under the laws of doctors
New
and whatever,
Jersey.
they have
They always got
New
some
Jersey.
New Jersey.
So depending on whatever your doctor says, it's a personal doctor. His personal
Right.
health stuff is between him and his doctor. What they recommend, what the doctor recommends for you, may be something different for what they recommended for Eric, because your situation and your personal body is different from his, and so there's a requirement to keep him for whatever's going on.
My doctor didn't even have a say.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a say in it.
Mm-hmm.
Either I took it or else.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was 400 plus pounds. I'm down to 290 now.
He did good. He lost
now,
a lot.
They told me I had to get the weight down in order to have the surgery. Now I got the weight down. Now I got to get the A1C down. Come on, make up your mind.
All right, let's all calm down. We know this. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. So here's our last question. Do you think all communities in New Jersey have been given equal access or information to the vaccine? If not, who is left out?
You said the community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think all communities in New Jersey were given equal access to information?
I'm not really sure, but I know Atlantic City ain't have nothing going on.
I'm going to say yes.
You do?
Well, I'm going to say yes because this has affected all of us. And so every nationality they have related. Every nationality, Oriental people, Spanish people, Black people, anybody I see, somebody has interacted with us for COVID. So
Right, so you meant like
Like
giving
for
out
school?
information?
Yeah,
means
like
anywhere.
in New Jersey, have they been giving, has the local organizations or the state, have they given all communities equal access? Do you think?
As far as like testing or getting
Yeah,
a shot.
information
I
about
think they have.
information.
No,
of the vaccine.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
information,
I would say
mass,
yes because we
the
have a lot of
vaccine.
Stuff like that,
information.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Stuff like masses and...
No, vaccine.
like
Information
vaccine.
to the vaccine, yes.
Oh, yeah, they were over there in Showboats a lot giving out
They
the
had a
testing
Renaissance.
and
They had
in
it
the
at,
shop.
We could say no,
Prevention
kind of
and-
no.
yeah,
I would say
other
no,
places.
actually.
So it's like...
Who do you think was left out?
The people who don't come out.
Okay.
The people who can't come out, the people who are homebound, the people who come out once a month, the people who more shut-in people, or people who have
There are
gotten
people
to-
who could not read because one of the places that I
Definitely.
have been to,
So that's
who
the
do
other
not
thing.
have access
don't
to the
have
computer,
access. Those are
who don't have a phone.
so who's and
Those.
who don't have a phone,
So
who's
it's more
talking
probably
for
like
them.
the elderly.
It could be anybody.
And-
In my
yeah,
world,
and-
it's anybody. So
And they right, they can't come out.
They can't
or the
come out.
people who's really terrified and scared to come out.
right, because they
'Cause
think
it
they
was a
may
lot
get
of people
COVID.
that was
Would not
really
come out
scared.
because they said we can't come out because we'll get COVID. And if you're an elderly person and you're scared, then or anybody.
A lot of people was really scared.
Sure, they were. There was a fear factor, right?
Yes.
Fear factor.
Yes.
Okay, so is there anything else you would like to share that was not asked?
They're real
Wait, that was not asked.
That was not asked.
That
Anybody
was
have
not
anything else?
asked. What wasn't asked? I would like to say that. Is there something that they want to say that wasn't asked?
Yeah, life's beautiful.
That's what
There
you
you
wanted
go.
to say.
Yep, we made it through COVID. We made it to
Okay.
another
We
new,
survived.
beautiful
We
year.
survived.
Well, I guess some
COVID's still
people-
around. We ain't make it through nothing. COVID's still around.
Yeah, and it
ain't around
They said
us.
it's high here in
Okay.
Atlantic
Yes,
City.
it is.
Well,
You don't know the
what-
rates? The,
so
the
what-
numbers
so
on
They
it?
said it's very high.
So what
God,
we
I
are
see
to
the same
do
10 people
is
every
to
week.
continue to stay masked up. It doesn't. You
I
have
seen
to
this
stay
somewhere where
masked
they
up.
said Jersey have to start wearing masks.
Well, it does.
Everywhere.
But I know they said the governor, like New York or Philly, something, they start massing up, and they said down here, Murphy, he said he didn't think it was necessary.
What
What do he?
Okay, so
He's the
He's the
governor.
governor.
it's the governor.
One voice though. He's just
Right.
one voice.
So you. So guess what? You have your own voice, your own mind, and do what you have to do to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Thank
And
you.
then,
Thank
well,
you.
And another
Go ahead,
thing
sorry.
with the people, their housing situation,
Yeah.
Yes.
their food situation,
Yeah.
where some people so far behind their bills, you know, they get foreclosure on their homes, different stuff like that. The I don't know if Atlantic City have anything, but in order for anybody to get by, they come here.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jewish Community Center has been very good. They bring out food packages to the home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have a lot of
Coats and
linkages.
different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what about, they can't take care of everybody, the whole community.
Mm-hmm.
They need more help giving out stuff, doing stuff for people who now with the landlords and stuff, now when they took the lift off where you can't just put them out, now they just putting people out, people homeless, people ain't got no food, they have nowhere to go. So then they come bunk up with family members. Now your house is overcrowded
And now you got a whole
and your resources getting lower, your bills are getting higher,
Yes.
and you only got one person. You know, you got grandparents taking care of their kids and their grandkids because they got put out of their home.
Right, and that's how COVID-19 has affected our community.
Yes.
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like I said, thank goodness for the Jewish Community Center.
Jewish Family Services. Thank
They
you. We
have
appreciate it.
really put food on some people's, but it's not enough.
Mhm.
It's not enough. Now you got the food, now you still wonder, oh, is they about to put me out the house yet? You know, they got Irma helping, but it's taking a while to see if you qualify. And then if you ain't qualified, then you put out on the street, like, where do you go? The mission is crowded. They ain't letting nobody in.
They got bed bugs over
And
there.
I don't think nobody, that's okay. I don't think nobody want to
So,
go there anyway.
we don't wanna get it-
You got your little kids going with you,
Yeah.
your grandkids and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So they need more resources trying to put these people in places. You know, and you got at Stanley Home too. You got what? No running water,
No
Yeah.
heat.
no
heat,
nothing. So
bugs,
so now
bed
you gotta
bugs.
now you
I
gotta
tell you
deal
all
with
they
that.
got. We
And
got
still the
system.
people that's
Yeah.
still out on the street. They have
Mhm.
nowhere to go.
Right.
Well, thank you so very much for sharing your ideas, expressing yourself. You know, we do appreciate it.